finding balance in the shadows and light. In a universe built on duality, we move between extremes, light and shadow, strength and vulnerability, creation and destruction. We're taught to chase the light, to fight for strength, to resist anything that feels dark or weak. But what if the true path forward isn't in rejecting one for the other, but in finding the balance that lies in between? For as long as we've existed, the pull toward the light has been instinctive. It's where we find warmth, clarity, and comfort. But there's more to the story. The shadows, the places we fear, the emotions we bury, are where our deepest transformations take place. The shadows hold the mirror up to our soul, forcing us to confront what we've hidden, and it's there where we discover our truest self. We often misunderstand strength. Strength isn't just about resilience, about being unbreakable. True strength is about knowing when to let go, when to feel, and when to trust that the parts of ourselves we've considered broken are actually the pieces that make us whole. Vulnerability is often mistaken for weakness, but if we stop and look closer, we see that vulnerability is the doorway to courage. It takes courage to stand in your shadow, to acknowledge your pain, to let others see it, and to let yourself feel it fully. Only then can you heal. Only then can you transform. Imagine for a moment that you're standing on a line between light and shadow. On one side, you have the comfort of certainty of what you know. On the other side, you have the unknown, the dark spaces you fear to explore. Most of us spend our lives swaying between these two forces, seeking one and running from the other. But what if instead of swinging back and forth, you stood still, holding both, not as enemies, but as partners in your journey? In that stillness, there's balance. The light brings clarity and vision, while the shadow brings depth and understanding. You need both. You are both. The true beauty of life is found in that tension, in the way the light and the shadow dance together. It's not one or the other, it's both. Think about the parts of yourself you hide from the world, the aspects that you think others wouldn't understand or would judge, the pain you've buried so deep you've almost forgotten it's there. These are not your weaknesses, they are your power. When you face these parts of yourself, when you allow them to exist alongside your strength, you unlock a potential you never knew you had. The light is where you shine, but the shadow is where you grow. So ask yourself, what parts of you have you been avoiding? What parts have you rejected, thinking they would hold you back or diminish your strength? It's easy to lose ourselves in the chaos of life, in the need to constantly perform, to prove our worth, to stay in the light where it feels safe. But safety isn't where growth happens. Growth comes from the places we resist, from the spaces we fear, from the moments we let ourselves fall apart. Can you find balance in the space between? Can you allow yourself to be both strong and vulnerable, both light and shadow, without judgment? This is where your true power lies, not in the extremes, but in the balance. When you stand in the middle, accepting all that you are, you become whole. You become the balance.